What if I told you that some of the habits you think are helping you as a goalkeeper might actually be holding you back? Sounds crazy, right? But it's true. In today's video, we're breaking down 5 overrated habits that most goalkeepers swear by, but don't actually need. And stick around for the last habit. It's personal, it's emotional, and it might just change how you think about your entire goalkeeping career. Alright, so a quick heads up before we dive in. All of these habits aren't necessarily bad. I've done them, you've probably done them too, and yeah, in the right situation, some of them might even work. But here's the thing, they're way overrated. And for so many goalkeepers, they are the very thing holding them back. So let's cut through the noise together and figure out what might actually be keeping you stuck. And to kick things off, let me ask you something. Have you ever been told that to be a great goalkeeper, you need to shout all the time? Like, if you're not barking orders non-stop, you're somehow not a leader? Well, let me tell you something that might surprise you. Being loud doesn't make you a leader, it just makes you loud. And when I was younger, I was that goalkeeper, you know, the one yelling anything and everything the entire game. Hey, come on, push up, get back! I might be exaggerating a bit, but you get the point. I thought if I just kept shouting the entire game, my teammates would respect me, my coach would trust me, and they all would see me as the leader they needed. But do you know what actually happened? I became background noise, like a buzzing bee that my teammates just learned to ignore. Why? Because shouting just for the sake of it isn't leadership, it isn't even helpful, it's just noise. Now, don't get me wrong, communication as a goalkeeper is absolutely crucial, but here's the key. It's not about how much you say, it's about what you say and when you say it. Stick to short, specific instructions. Things like, Jake, cover near post, or Mike, watch the runner. These are short, simple, and direct. Exactly what your teammates need, especially when they're trying to focus on their own game. Also, if you keep yelling in panic, guess what? Your team is going to panic too, but if you stay calm and confident, even when the pressure is on, they'll trust you and they'll follow your lead. Effective communication isn't about shouting the entire game every second. It's about being clear, concise, and timely. That's how you lead, and that's how you earn the trust of your defenders. Alright, speaking of trust, let's move on to another overrated habit that might be holding you back. This one's a bit sneaky because it's so easy to fall into, especially for goalkeepers. Have you ever felt like everyone has advice on how you should play as a goalkeeper? Your coach says one thing, your teammates say another, your parents have their ideas. Then of course there are YouTube videos like this one. All those voices can really start messing with your head, right? Now, don't get me wrong, getting advice is great, but here's the problem. When you got too many opinions bouncing around in your mind, it's hard to focus on what actually is working for you. One day someone's telling you to come off your line more, the next they're telling you to stay back. One person says you should be working on your kicking, someone else swears reflexes are the way to go, and before you know it, you're second guessing everything. And trust me, I've been there. I remember thinking, if I just follow all the advice I can get, I'll improve faster. But do you know what actually happened? I got overwhelmed, and instead of getting better, I started doubting myself. The reality is, not all advice is good advice, and even the good advice, it might not be the right advice for you. These days, anyone can post tips online, even start a YouTube channel, and sure, some of it is amazing, but let's also be honest, a lot of it comes from people who have never stood in goal themselves. So here's what I've learned. Pick 1 or 2 people who really know their stuff, who you trust. Maybe it's your coach, maybe it's a mentor, maybe it's someone with 20 years of real goalkeeping experience. Whoever it is, stick to their advice, trust their guidance, and forget the rest. Alright, let's dive into another overrated habit. And this one's tricky because it feels like you're doing the right thing, but in reality, you're not. Have you ever found yourself spending hours looking for that one drill, that one perfect routine, or that one piece of advice you're convinced will finally take your game to the next level? If you're nodding your head right now, trust me, you're not alone. When I first started taking goalkeeping seriously, I fell into that trap. I spent hours scrolling through videos, making schedules, and wait for it, even color coding my plans. Yes, color coding, because obviously having rainbow colored notes would make me a better goalkeeper, right? But here's the thing. I spent so much time trying to build the perfect plan that I barely left any time for actual training. I was stuck in what's called paralysis by analysis. You know, the feeling I just need to find the perfect training plan before I start, or I'll wait until tomorrow when I have better time to do it properly. Sound familiar? Well, let me tell you, there is no such thing as a perfect plan. There is no magic drill that's going to transform you into a top goalkeeper overnight. The only way of improving is to stop overthinking and actually start doing. Imagine you're trying to learn how to cook. You can watch tutorials, make detailed grocery list, and plan every step. But at some point, you have to get in the kitchen and actually start cooking. Sure, you'll make mistakes in the beginning, oversalt the soup, burn the toast, what do I know? But that's how you learn. And it's exactly the same with goalkeeping. Your progress doesn't come from having the perfect plan. It comes from consistently showing up and putting in the work. You can always tweak your plan along the way, but none of that matters if you're not taking the first step. So stop overthinking, stop waiting, just grab your ball, head to the field and start training. Now, I know it's one thing to say stop overthinking and just start training, but where do you actually begin, right? And that's where I can help. You don't need to spend hours searching for drills or stressing about building the perfect plan, because I've already done the hard part for you. With over 80 drills and hundreds of happy goalkeepers and step-by-step mentorship from me, my ultimate self-training program is everything you need to start training smarter and improving faster. So if you're tired of overthinking and finally take your game to the next level, check out the link in the description. Let's get to work and let's make it happen together. All right, next up, let's talk about a trap that almost every goalkeeper falls into at some point. Have you ever watched a highlight reel of a goalkeeper pulling off a jaw-dropping reflex save and thought, that's it? That's the secret to becoming great? And I get it. Those saves look incredible, almost like something straight out of a superhero movie. But here's the thing, they're not nearly as important as you might think. When I was younger, I completely bought into this idea. I spent hours practicing reflex drills, diving for those dramatic top corner saves, and working on quick reactions. Why? Because I thought that was the ultimate key to becoming a great goalkeeper. And yeah, I'll admit, it feels amazing. I mean, who doesn't love feeling like a superhero for a moment, flying through the air to pull off a save, right? But here's the problem. I was so focused on the flashy stuff that I completely ignored the fundamentals. I wasn't working on my positioning, my footwork, handling, or even basic diving technique. Reflex saves and top corner dives, they're like the cherry on top of a cake. Flashy, sure, but they're not that important. Coaches and scouts aren't looking for keepers who make everything look dramatic. They want keepers who make goalkeeping look easy. And if you focus on mastering your fundamentals, you won't even need the best reflexes in the world. Because here's the truth, big reflex saves will come and go. They're unpredictable and rare, but your basics, they're reliable, they'll stay with you every game, help you make more saves, and make goalkeeping look effortless. And that's the real goal, right? All right, here we go. The most overrated habit of them all. This one, it's tough, it's emotional, and I already know it's going to spark some serious debate. But before you jump into any conclusions, let me ask you this. Have you ever stayed at a club with a coach or even in an environment because it felt safe and familiar, even though deep down you knew it wasn't helping you grow? I know I have. Because when I was breaking through as a goalkeeper, I stayed at my childhood club way longer than I should have. Why? Because I felt loyal. Loyal to the coaches who believed in me, loyal to my teammates who felt like family, and loyal to the club. They gave me so much over the years. It all felt so comfortable. But do you know what it didn't feel like? Progress. I wasn't getting enough game time, the training wasn't pushing me anymore, and I wasn't improving as a goalkeeper. Deep down, I knew that if I wanted to take the next step in my career, I needed to move on, but I didn't. I stayed. But here's the hard truth I eventually had to face. Loyalty is a great quality, it builds relationships, it shows character, it often holds teams together, but it has its limits. If the environment you're in isn't helping you grow, or if you're not getting the game time or development you need, staying loyal is only slowing you down. So ask yourself, is the team, your coach, the environment you're in right now truly helping you grow? If the answer is yes, amazing, stay loyal, work hard, and give everything you got. But if the answer is no, don't be afraid to move on, because your career is way too short to stay one place where you're not growing. Now, putting your own growth first is one of the hardest lessons you'll ever learn as a goalkeeper. But here's the thing, there are other lessons just as important that so many goalkeepers realize too late. The good news though, you won't have to. So if you want to know what those lessons are, check out my next video right here.